327.3.
All right.
17.5.
Get race number 1 on track. If I can get my drivers from truck to come on out and turn marshal, please.
Ten car 3 flat. 21.4.
All right, looks like you got all 5 drivers on the stand. Get one more car checked in here.
Paul Stevens.
There we go. Cool, we got my 4 truck guys out here. So this is going to be a 6-minute qualifier. You guys know the drill. We're going. All right. We got John going 17.4, Ben at 18.7, Theo in 18.3, Harshal in 18.8, Paul 17.5. So Rico, fastest opening lap here. We're 40 in. All right, fast lap now down to a 17.0. Paul Stevens driving the blue ride. The dark blue ride, that is. 55 seconds in, 5:05 to go. All right, now it's Paul, Harshal, John, Theo, and Ben, your full running order. Everyone's still very close here from first to last. It's only about 2 seconds. 110 down, 4:50 to go. Rico back to the top. All right, Rico, followed by Stevens, Laya, Halverson, and Lynn, your full order. We're $130 down, 4:30 to go. This is race number 1 on track. Got Paul down to a 16.8, Rico down to a 17.1, Ben down to a 17.3, Harshal down to a 17.3 as well. All right, 1:45 in, 4:15 to go. Theo down to a 16.8. So right now, Rico 1 second ahead of Ben. Ben is half a second ahead of Paul. Careful, back straight, back straight. And that is clear. So we're just past 2 minutes down, 4 minutes to go. Rico on a 21.07, Halverson a 21.10, Laya a 21.12, Lynn a 20.02, and Stevens a 20.12. Fast lap of the race now. Ben Halverson, a 16.5, looking alive. Rico, a 16.8, doing great. So Rico, 1.4 ahead of Halverson. Halverson, 2.3 ahead of Laya. Laya, 0.9 ahead of Lynn. Lynn, 0.8 ahead of Stevens. All right, 240 down, 320 to go. All right, we got 3 minutes down, 3 minutes remain. Rico's pace now, 21.04. We got Halverson, 21.08. Laya, 21.13. Lynn, 20 flat. Stevens, 20.09. So Rico, 1.3 ahead of Ben. Now 3 seconds ahead of Ben. Ben, 3.5 ahead of Theo. Theo, 2 ahead of Harshal. Harshal, 1.6 ahead of Paul. 325 down, 235 remains. This is race number 1 on track. All right, 350 down, 210 to go. Careful, back straight, go wide, wide, wide.
2 minutes left.
All right, 1:50 left in this one. This time by John, 5 ahead of Ben. Ben, 0.1 ahead of Theo. Theo, 4 ahead of Harshel. Harshel, 2.9 ahead of Paul. 1:35 remains. So John, Ben, Theo, Harshel, and Paul, your order at this time. 1:25 to go. Got Rico 21:06. Lynn now 21:13. Halverson 21:14. Laya 21:17. Stevens a 20:03. Paul Stevens fast lap of the race though, 16:3. Just over a minute remains.
One minute left.
You heard the man, a minute to go. Rico, Lynn, Halverson, Stevens, and Lai, your full running order. So John 3.5 ahead of Theo. Theo 3.5 ahead of Ben. Ben 2.5 ahead of Paul. Paul 2.9 ahead of Harshel. Yeah, 25 seconds to go, drivers. Make it count. Ten seconds. Closest battles for the 3 spot. Ben versus Paul versus Harshel. Yeah, Ben 0.02 ahead of Paul. Paul 1.1 ahead of Harshel. Could come down to this final lap here. Keep going, drivers. Keep going. Keep going.
Race and Rico done. 10 Quartet done. Ben Halverson done. Paul Stevens done. All drivers are finished.
All right, that will be a race, drivers. John Rico going 21:07. Theo going 21:10. Paul going 21:14. Ben 21:15. Harshel 21:17. All right, folks, go ahead and set those cars down. And maybe if I can get a volunteer for Paul in the marshaling, if somebody could step up and help out, please.
Let's go, Art. Joe Colicchio. Mike Rulis. Mike White. Jeff Nyes. Jose X.
All right, everybody's checked in. So, we are going racing. Let this car go by. All right. All right, this is race number 2 on track. Our second heat of buggy. All right, nice. Fastest opening lap going 15.8. Cardinale responds lap 2 of 15.9. Jose a 16.4, Joe a 16.1, Mike a 16.7. Careful in the middle, guys. That's getting cleared up. 55 seconds in, 5:05 to go. Art Cardinale a 15.8 of his own. All right, so it's Art out front, followed by Jeff, Jose, Mike, and Joe. Got Cardinale 23.05. Nice the 23.06. Jose going 22.03. Rulis going a 22.14. White a 20 flat. And Joe a 20.05. Got minute 25 down, 4:35 remaining. All right, $1.40 down. Nice out front by .09. Got Cardinale 5 ahead of Jose. Let's see, actually, Cardinale 5.9 ahead of Rulis. Rulis 0.1, going back and forth with Jose there. Those two are 4 seconds up on Mike White. And White 1.3 ahead of Colicchio. Oh, got a little bit of a log jam there. 2:05 down, 3:55 remains. Cardinale, Nyes, Hicks, White, Colicchio, Rulis. Fastest lap in this race going to be Jeff Nyes at a 15.6. Got Art a 15.8. Jose a 16.1. Colicchio 16.1. White a 16.5. Rulis a 16.6. 2:40 down, 3:20 remains. And now it's Cardinale to the front, 4.2 ahead of Jeff. Cardinale just taking fast lap, 15.5. He's looking alive. Announcer's curse. 3 down, 3 to go. Cardinale still your race leader. 2:50 remains. Right now, Art on a 23.12. We got Jeff at 22 flat, Jose at 22.08, Joe at 22.14, White at 21.01, Rulis a 21.17. 3:25 down, 2:35 remains. Art, Jeff, Jose, Joe, Mike, and Mike, your full running order. 2:20 to go. This is race number 2 on track. A lot of 2s there. So Art now 1.6 ahead of Jeff. Jeff 4.5 ahead of Jose. Jose 2.9 ahead of Joe. Joe 3 ahead of White. And White 8 ahead of Rulis. We are now 4 minutes in.
2 minutes left.
Last time by, Jose and Joe both going 15.9s. Jeff also going to 15.9. Art going to 15.4. Foot to the floor. Careful in the chicane. Minute 40 remains. All right, $1.25 to go. Cardinale continues to lead. 23.10 for pace. You got Jeff at 23.14, Jose at 22.05, Joe at 22.08, Mike Rulis at 21.13, Mike White at 21.17. Yeah, minute 10 to go, drivers. 70 seconds left.
One minute left.
$55 seconds left. This time by Cardinale 2 ahead of Nyes. Nyes 7.9 ahead of Jose. Jose 0.7 ahead of Joe. Joe 18 ahead of Rulis. Rulis 6.5 ahead of White. 25 seconds to go, drivers. Closest battle here, Jose and Joe. They are .082 apart from each other. So that one could be a race to the final lap here. Got 10 seconds to go. Keep on going, drivers. Don't stop early.
Joe Colicchio done. Mike White done. Let's Go Art done. Jose X done. Mike Rulis done. All drivers.
Okay, that'll be a race, guys. Art Cardinale, 23:10. Jeff Nyes, the 23:13. Joe Colicchio with 22:06. Jose X, the 22:07. Mike Rulis, the 21:13. Mike White at 20:01. All right, folks, go ahead. Set your buggies down. Come on out to turn marshal. Up next, heat number 3. So up in race 3, it's going to be Pat, Brian, Steve, Ryan, John.
Rice Cakes Supreme. Ryan T. Randall. Loctite Milio. Patrick Brill. Brian Merck.
Okay, everybody's checked in. Looks like I got my marshals out here. All right, folks, we're going racing. All right, we're 25 in, 5:35 to go. Steve with the fastest opening lap. Definitely not going to be the fastest second lap, but we still got 5:30 to go. Emilio going 15.4 on lap 2. All right, folks, we're 45 seconds in. Right now it's Ryan out front, followed by John, Pat, Brian, and Steve. Randall going 15.5, BG at 15.2. Pat going 15.7, Steve at 15.4, John at 15.4, Brian at Merck, that is, 16.1. All right, this time by, we got Steve going 15.3, Brian at 15.3, John, you guessed it, at 15.3. Minute 20 in, 4:40 to go. Right now it's Ryan Randall off front, 24 lap pace. Got John on 23.05, Brian now 23.05, Pat going 23.08, Steve at 23.12, and Merck on 22.04. Minute 35 in. Fastest lap so far, BG at a 15.2. Until I just said that, Steve Leung, 14.8. All right, a minute 55 down, 4:05 remains. Ryan, BG, John, Steve, Pat, and Brian. And now BG to the top, 15.0 that last time by. Right now, BG half a second up on Ryan. Ryan 0.6 ahead of John. Well now, Ryan 0.2 ahead of Steve. Steve 0.3 ahead of John. John 1.9 ahead of Pat. Pat 2.3 ahead of Merck. 2:20 down, 3:40 to go. All right, so Brian Merck, your NASCAR Top Gun champion, That is honestly, in my opinion, the real driver's class. You can't do anything to that car. .245 down, 3:15 to go. All right, drivers, we're now 3 minutes in, 3 minutes to go. BG 2414, Steve also 2414, John 2305, Pat 2307, Ryan 2312, and Merca 22 flat, now at 2315. All right, we got 2:45 to go, drivers. All right, this time by Steve Leung, 1/10 ahead of Brian Gross. Got BG 4.5 ahead of John. John 1.5 ahead of Pat. Pat 4.2 ahead of Ryan. Ryan just half a second ahead of Merck. All right, folks, approaching 4 minutes down.
2 minutes left.
All right, BG that time by 14.9. And he is currently 2.3 ahead of Steve. So BG on 24.11. We got Steve at 24.15, Pat 23.08, John 23.12, Ryan 23.13, and Merck at 22.02. Minute 40 remaining. .120 to go, drivers.
One minute left.
All right, Brian Gross on 24.10. We got Steve at 23.02, Pat 23.08, John 23.12, Ryan also 23.12, and Brian at 22.03. Closest battle going to be Melio versus Randall. They're currently 1.5 apart. Advantage Melio. 35 seconds to go. All right. PB that time. That's Patrick Burrow going to 15.3. .15 seconds remain. Another 15.3 for PB. All right, I've been warned. Tony Wilson's going to show up later.
Steve Leung done.
Oh, back straight, go wide, wide, wide. Go wide on the back straight.
Ryan Merck done.
That's clear.
Loctite Milio done. Rice Cake Supreme done.
That'll be a race, guys.
Done.
So BG going to
All
go 24.09, Steve at 23.05, Pat
Patrick
23.10.
Brill done.
Ryan going to beat John at the line by 0.2 of a second. Ryan going 23.11.4, John at 23.11.7, and Brian going 22.02. All right, that'll take us into our final buggy qualifier of round number 1.
BP. Kevin Allen. Jordan Rivera. Gumpa. Staples.
All right. This is heat number 4. Hey, get a room, you two. Oh, Goompa's trying to get in on that action. All right, we got our marshals out here. We're going to get this party started in just a moment. Oh, ow. I always hate it when I do that. All right, Goompa going to 14-6. Jordan to 15-2, Kevin to 15-7, James to 15-9. This time by. Yeah, Goompa another 14-6. BP going 15 flat, Kevin to 15-1. All right, 45 seconds in, 5:15 to go. All right, Goompa breaking it down to 14-4. Kevin going 14-8. Rabara 15-2. Poria 15 flat. Colicchio 15-9. BP that time by 14-7. Oh, a little trouble for Goompa there. We're $1.15 in with 4:45 remaining. All right, this time by, we got Bryant on a 24.03, Brandon a 24.08, Kevin a 24.09. Got Jordan a 23 flat, and James a 22.03. All right, a $1.45 down, 4:15 to go. Bryant 1.4 ahead of Brandon. Brandon 0.5 ahead of Kevin. Kevin 1 ahead of Jordan. Jordan 5.5 ahead of James. All right, 2:05 down, 3:55 to go. Bryant 25-13. Brandon 24.04. Kevin 24.09. Jordan 23.02. James 23.14. Goompa with a fast lap of 14.4. Got Brandon at 14.7, Kevin 14.8, Jordan at 15.0, and James at 15.4. 2:30 down, 3:30 left. $3.15 remains. Right now, Goompa 2.5 ahead of Brandon. Brandon 2.5 ahead of Kevin. Kevin 3.5 ahead of Jordan. Jordan 3.8 ahead of James. BP that time by 14.6. He is in the mix. All right, we got 2:40 to go, drivers. This time by, we got Bryant on 25-13. Brandon almost on 25, 24.01. Got Kevin at 24.08. Jordan 24.14. James at 23.14. 3:30 in, 2:30 remains. Bryant just, this time by 2 seconds ahead of Brandon. Brandon 3.1 ahead of Kevin. Kevin 3 ahead of Jordan. Jordan 8 ahead of James. Got Truck up next, guys. Truck is up next. This time by Bryant, 1.8 ahead of Brandon. Brandon 3.9 ahead of Kevin. 2 minutes left. Got Kevin 2.8 ahead of Jordan. Jordan 9 ahead of James. Looks like James making some radio adjustments here. Minute 40 remains, drivers. Oh, decapitated. 4:30 down through 1:30 to go. Jordan getting ready for the beach. Going topless. All right, minute 10 to go. Every time I see a car go topless, it just automatically reminds me of
1
Brian
minute
Cassidy.
left.
I'm convinced he does that on purpose. I think he likes driving the car with no body. 50 seconds to go. Bryant 25-12, Brandon 24-01, Kevin 24-10, Jordan 23-01, James 22-14. Oh, Jordan going 14-9 with the topless car. I guess the car likes being topless too. 25 seconds remaining. Ten seconds, drivers.
BP done. Goompa done. Kevin Allen done. Staples done.
One more car.
All drivers are finished.
I'll be your race, guys. Bryant going
Jordan
25-11,
Rivera done.
Brandon 24 flat, Kevin 24-10, Jordan 24-15, and James 22-08. All right, we're going to welcome Truck to the track up next.
Hollywood. Mike White. Rice Cakes Supreme.
All right. There's 4 trucks out here.
Patrick Brill.
All right, got my marshals out here. Looks like Sal's ready to go. Mike's ready to go. All right, folks, we're going to get this party started. All right, BG, lap number 1 at 15.9. Got Sal going 15.7, Pat 17.0, and Mike a 17.4. So we got Sal fastest opening lap. All right, folks, 45 down, 5:15 to go. BG going 15.4. This time by another 15.4. So we got Brian on 24.14. We got Sal at 23.05. Pat 22.10. Mike at 21.07. All right, a minute 15 in, 4:45 remaining. Brian down to a 15-2. All right, we got Sal now to the top spot. Sal right now 3.5 ahead of Brian. Brian half ahead of Pat. Pat 4 ahead of Mike. We're just about 2 minutes down, 4 minutes to go. All right, we got 2:30 down, 3:30 remaining. Got Salvarez out front on 23:09, BG at 23:15, Pat going 22:08, Mike at 21:16. All right, 2:55 down, 3:05 remaining. BG going 15-2 that time by. All right, so BG right behind Sal. I have a feeling Sal's going to, oh, I was about to say Sal's going to try and make that truck as wide as possible, but BG able to make his way by. Let's see if Sal can catch a draft off of BG here. 3:20 down, 2:40 to go. All right, Sal going 15-8, BG at 15-6. That last lap. We got 2:20 remaining, drivers. All right, just over 2 minutes to go.
2 minutes left.
All right, Sal currently 23:08, Brian 23:09. We got Pat 21:02, and Mike at 21:15. Sal turning in his best lap there, 15:5. Looking alive. Minute 45 remaining in this one. BG going 15-1. That's going to put him 3/10 out front. Sal currently a lap up on Pat. Pat 8.9 ahead of Mike. Minute 30 to go, drivers. Oh. All right, minute 15 remains, drivers. 75 seconds left.
One minute left.
50 seconds to go. Careful, back straight, back straight. That is clear. 35 seconds remaining. Twenty seconds to go. Ten seconds.
Rice Cakes Supreme done. Mike White done. Hollywood done. All drivers are finished. Patrick,
All right,
well
folks,
done.
so that'll be a race, guys. Brian, Sal, Pat, Mike, your finishing order. BG at 23:04, Sal 23:10, Pat 22:14, Mike at 20:01. All right, folks, up next, well, we'll take a little bit of a break. Up next will be round number 2. All right, get round 2 started at 7:20. 7:20. I give you guys about 10 minutes to get some track time, hang out.
Paul Stevens. 10 car Ted. Harshal Laya.
All right, folks, let's get our turn marshals out here from truck.
Ben Halverson. Race Enrico.
All right, folks, got all my marshals out here. Well, we only got 4 truck drivers. All right, folks, we're going to get this party started. All right, so first car across the line is going to be Paul Stevens going to 17-2. Rico is 17-8. Harshal going 17-4. Theo in 18-4. And Ben in his 17-8. Paul with the fastest opening lap. That's the dark blue car. All right, we got Halverson out there debuting the Dragonator body. That is the first one I've seen out here. Looks like Harshal's got the new, I want to say it's the Striker body. A couple of the new J-Concept shells being represented in this race. Right now it's Paul Stevens out front, followed by John, Harshal, Ben, and Theo. Right now Paul's on 21.01 for pace, got John 21.02. Harshal 21.06, Ben 21.09, Theo 21.13. Minute 25 in, 4:35 to go. All right, we got buck 40 down. Right now, Paul just about a second ahead of Harshal. Harshal 0.6 ahead of John. John 4 ahead of Ben. Ben 0.014 ahead of Theo. Yeah, buck 50 down, 4:10 to go, drivers. We got one down the middle. That is going to be our race leader. All right, 2:05 down, 3:55 to go. And it's going to be Harshal taking over the top spot, followed by John, Paul, Theo, and Ben. Oh. $2.25 down, drivers. 3:35 to go. And it's going to be Rico to the top spot, followed by Harshal, Theo, Ben, and Paul. 2:40 down, 3:20 remains. Rico currently 21.06. Harshal going 21.10. Theo going 20.01. Paul 20.03. Ben 19 flat. All right, we got 3:10 to go, drivers. $2.55 to go. Oh, trouble in the middle. Careful, middle. That is clear. 3:20 down, 2:40 to go, drivers. Oh, no. Might be a ball cup. No, Pat's saying it's broke. He's taking a look at it. Hold on a sec. Hey, there we go. Just had a bit of a unscheduled pit stop. That's all. All right, 2:15 remaining. Fastest lap of this one, Harshal going a 16.7. Yeah, Rico a 16.8. Paul going a 16.8.
2 minutes left.
Theo 17.2. Ben a 17.2. We got 2 minutes to go, drivers. He was coming in for a warranty inspection. Minute 35 to go, drivers. All right, minute 25 remains. Got Rico 5.6 ahead of Harshal. Harshal 2.4 ahead of Theo. Theo 8 ahead of Ben. And Ben 15 ahead of Paul. Got buck 15 to go, drivers. 75 seconds remain. Minute 5 to go.
1 minute left.
All right, we got Rico 21.05. Harshal going 21.11. Theo a 20 flat. Ben 20.08. And Paul 19.06. 40 seconds remain. $25 seconds left. All right, folks, time is coming to a close. Keep on going. Keep going. Computer will announce you as done. Just keep on going.
Race Enrico done. Ben Halverson done. Harshal Laya done. Paul Stevens done.
All right, that'll be a race,
All
guys. It's going to be
drivers are
Rico
finished.
taking out qualifier,
10 car, 10
21.05. Got Harshal going 21.13. Theo a 21.15. Ben a 20.04. Paul a 20.16. All right, folks, go ahead and set those cars down. Up next is going to be race number 2. Art, Jeff, Joe, Jose, Mike, and Mike.
Joe Colicchio. Jose X. Jeff Nyes. Let's go Art. Mike White. Mike Rulis.
Careful on the left side. Need a little help on the left. Hey, if I can get a volunteer marshal for this one, that'd be great. All right, I got Harshal out there. I got Ben out there. Got Rico out here. I got Theo sauntering his way to the track. I guess no one wants to volunteer. Sorry, guys. So we got 4. All right, folks. We are Hey, we got Kevin Allen. Let's get Kevin over by Theo, please. All right, folks, we're going racing. All right, fastest opening lap goes to Art Cardinale at a 16.2. Got Colicchio 16.3, Ix a 16.4, Knives a 16.4, Rulis a 16.7, White going 17.9. We're 45 seconds in, drivers. Cardinale down to a 16.0, Knives down to a 15.8. All right, folks, coming up on 1 minute down, 5 to go. All right, now it's Jeff, Art, Joe, Jose, Mike, and Mike. All right, we got Jeff another 15.8. Got Art a 15.7. Got Joe a 16.1. Jose a 16.4. Rulis going 16.7. White a 17. 120 down, 440 to go, drivers. Go. Minute 35 in, 4:25 to go. Right now it's Nizan 23.08, Cardinale 23.12, Colicchio 22.01, Ixa 22.08, Rulis a 21.06, White on an 18. All right, got minute 50 down, 4:10 to go. All right, Nice 1 second ahead of Cardinale. Cardinale 1.3 ahead of Colicchio. Colicchio 2.9 ahead of Ix. Ix 5.9 ahead of Rulis. Rulis 13 ahead of White. We're 2:15 down. We got 3:45 to go, drivers. All right, 2:30 in, 3:30 remaining. Nice out front, 23.08, Cardinale 23.11, Colicchio 23.14, Ixa 22.08, Rulis at 21.07, White on a 19.03. All right, we got 3:15 to go. Nice down to a 15.5. So we got just about 3 minutes down and 3 minutes remaining. Jeff 23.07. He's 2.1 ahead of Art. Art 0.6 ahead of Joe. Joe 4.7 ahead of Jose. Jose 9.3 ahead of Rulis. Rulis 9 ahead of White. Careful in the middle, guys. Thank you, Harshal. 2:45 to go. Art Cardinale that last time by 15.5. Careful on the back straight. Go wide, wide, wide. That's clearing up. All right, 2:30 remaining. All right, Jeff Nye now 4 ahead of Cardinale. Cardinale 3.4 ahead of Ix. Ix 1.6 ahead of Colicchio. Colicchio 10 ahead of Rulis. Rulis 19 ahead of White. That time by Art down to a 15.4. This guy's foot to the floor. And he's looking for more.
2 minutes left.
All right, just under 2 minutes to go. Nye continuing to lead this one. He is the white and blue, majority white. Got Colicchio also white and blue, but majority blue. 4:25 down, 1:35 to go. Nice 23.07, Cardinale 23.16, Jose 22.03, Joe 22.06, Rulis 21.11, White 20.13. All right, good teamwork, guys. Minute 15 remaining. Got just over a minute, drivers.
1 minute left.
Nyes the 2307, Cardinale 2314, Ix the 2203, Colicchio 2204, Rulis at 2113, White 2009. Closest battle right now, Jose Ix versus Joe Colicchio. They are 0.7 of a second apart. 35 seconds remain. Nyes 5.3 ahead of Cardinale. Cardinale 5 ahead of Ix. Ix 0.8 ahead of Colicchio. Got 15 seconds left, drivers. Make the most of it. Don't stop early. Just keep on going till the computer says you are done.
Joe Colicchio done. Jose Ix done. Jeff Nyes done. Mike White done.
All right, one more car. Uno
Let's
Mas.
Go Art done.
And that'll be
All
a race,
drivers
guys.
are
Jeff
finished.
going 2307.
done.
Art 2313, Joe 2203, Jose 2203, Mike at 2114, and White at 2002. All right, race 3. You guys are up. Brian, Steve, Pat, Ryan, John, Brian. And Tony. Got Wild Tiger on the loose.
Patrick Brill. Ryan T. Randall. Brian Merck.
All right, I may need a little
Rice
help out
Cake
there, please.
Supreme.
A little help in the middle, please.
Loctite Milio. El Tigre. Steve Loom.
All right, do I have all my turn marshals, drivers from the last group? All right, folks. This is heat number 3, and we're going racing. All right, BG at 15.2, Steve at 15.3, Ryan at 15.7, Pat at 15.6, Tony at 16.2, John at 16.0, and Brian at 16.0. BG fastest opening lap, making his way down the back straight. All right, 2 laps in the books here. Merck going 15.7, Milio at 15.9. All right, 45 seconds in. BG at 14.9, not time by. So it's Brian, Steve, Ryan, Brian, John, Tony, and Pat. Right now, 3 laps in, we got Brian at 24.07, Steve at 24.06 now. Ryan Randall going 23 flat. Tony at 23.06, John at 23.06, Pat 23.07, and Brian at 22.02. 120 down, 440 to go. Right now it's BG and Steve going back and forth for the lead. Right now it's BG up by half a second. Steve 1.1 ahead of Ryan. Ryan 1 ahead of Tony. Tony 0.1 ahead of John. John 0.1 ahead of Pat. Pat 3 ahead of Brian. BG going for a flip. Steve going for a flip. Minute 45 down. Let's see what the leaderboard says this time by. All right, Tony Wilson to the top spot. 23 flat for pace. Ryan 2301, Brian 2302, Pat 2303, John 2304, Steve 2305, and Merca 2204. Got 2:15 down, 3:45 remaining, drivers. Wow. Top 4 cars within 1.6. From first to 6, it's a total gap of 2 seconds. Ryan Randall out front. Yeah, I agree. If we weren't going to do a track change on Saturday, I'd say let's do one tonight, but we're going to do that on Saturday. If you show up on Saturday to do the track change, you get to reserve a pit spot. And that might come in handy, just saying. On-road Top Gun was 17 heats. We can't let on-road outdo us, guys. Please. We can't let those guys outdo us. I want to see 18 heats for off-road. Yeah, that's true, actually. Yeah, they do. There are way too many classes in on-road. I'm not afraid to say it. 3:20 down, 2:40 to go. All right, so I think we had about 70 drivers for Top Gun on-road. So that's the bar. 70. We want to try to beat that. 2:20 to go, drivers. BG 2413, Tony 23 flat, Ryan 23 flat as well. John 2302, Steve 2303, Pat 2306, Brian 2101. Oh. 4 minutes down, 2 minutes to go. BG 1.5 ahead of Tony, Tony 1.6 ahead of Steve, Steve 0.9 ahead of John, John 0.8 ahead of Ryan, Ryan 0.4 ahead of Pat, and Pat a lap up on Merck. We got a minute 45 to go, drivers. Man, Tony Wilson arriving driving it. Man, he's hanging tough here. This might be one of the best arrive and drive efforts I've seen in recent memory. Well, Brian Mears once had a pretty impressive one. We got a minute 15 to go, drivers. Oh. I felt that one.
One minute left.
5 down, 1 to go, drivers. And yes, we are racing this Friday. This Friday going to be the official Top Gun pre-race. So if you want to get some pregame action with us Friday night at 7 o'clock, be ready to rock. 40 seconds remain, drivers. Got BG 1.7 ahead of Tony, Tony 3.5 ahead of Ryan, Ryan 2 ahead of John, John 1 ahead of Pat, Pat 1.1 ahead of Steve. BG currently at 24.12 for pace. Tony 24.14, Ryan at 23.02. John 23.05, Pat 23.06, Steve 23.07, Brian at 22.16. Down to 15 seconds left, drivers. Got one more heat of buggy after this one.
Steve Leung done. Ryan T. Randall done. Patrick Brill done. Rice Cakes Supreme done. Loctite Milio done. LT Gray done.
And one more car.
All drivers are finished.
That'll be a race, guys. BG
Ryan
going
Merck
24.12, Tony 24.13. Pat 23.05, Ryan 23.06, John 23.06, Steve 2306, and Merca 2215. All right, folks, race 4 coming up. This is our final qualifier of buggy for the night. That'll be Bryant, Brandon, Kevin, Jordan, and James.
BP. Staples. Goompa. Kevin Allen. Jordan Rivera.
Woo! All right, getting our turn marshals out here. All right, doing a little adjustment here in the middle. Okay. It's taut. That's taut, bro. That's what the kids are going to start saying now. It's taut. All right, folks, we're going racing. All right, lap number 1 in progress. As BGs would say, those lines are taut. Brian going 14.5 on the opener here. Kevin a 15.2, Jordan a 15.5, Brandon 15.6, James 15.7. Go, 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 go. That wasn't your fault. It's all good. All right, Brian bringing it down to a 14.4. We got Brandon going 14.7. Kevin a 15.0, James a 15.3, Jordan 15.0. All right, we're 1:05 down with 4:55 remaining. So Bryant, wow, even faster, 14.3. Way to be. So Bryant's on 25.06, Brandon 25.14. We got Kevin at 24.03. Jordan 23.07, James 22 flat. Just past a minute 30 in. Careful up front, guys. Careful up front. All right, drivers, we got 2 minutes down. 4 minutes left. And right now, it is BP out front. Now, Brandon on 24.01. We got Kevin at 24.05. Bryant 24.07. Jordan 24.15. James 22.06. 2:25 in, 3:35 to go. All right, 2:35 down, 3:25 to go. So Brandon right now 1.4 ahead of Bryant. Bryant 0.5 ahead of Kevin. Kevin 3.5 ahead of Jordan. Jordan 10 ahead of James. Okay, we're just about halfway through. 3 minutes down, 3 minutes to go. All right, Brandon, 0.6 ahead of Brian. Brian, 1.4 ahead of Kevin. Kevin, 3.2 ahead of Jordan. Jordan, 13 ahead of James. Jordan that time by 14-8. $325 down, $235 remaining. $340 down, drivers, $220 to go. Four down, 2 remain. Left. Bryant now back to the front, 24 flat for pace. Got Brandon 24.06, Kevin 24.06, Jordan 24.11, James 22.09. Bryant currently through 4 seconds ahead of Brandon. Brandon 0.6 ahead of Kevin. Kevin 2.6 ahead of Jordan. We got a minute 30 to go, drivers, 90 seconds left. Up next will be our final qualifier of the night, our truck class. All right, minute 20 remains, drivers. Brian 24 flat, Brandon 24.04.
1 minute left.
Kevin 24.07, Jordan 24.09, James 22.08. James is doing his best lap at 15.2. $45 seconds remain. $20 seconds remain. All right, keep going till the computer announces you are done.
BP done. Kevin Allen done. Staples done. Jordan Rivera done.
All right, Bryant Mirafonte again. Take that one at 25-13. We got BP going 24.04. Kevin at 24.07. Jordan 24.08. James at 22.05. All right, that'll take us in the truck. Truck is up next. Sounds like things are going Tony Wilson's way. All right. Wow, I got my marshals out here before the trucks. Not often you have your marshals out here before the vehicles. Good job, guys. Okay, our truck class looks to be ready to go. We're going racing. All right, folks, we're 20 seconds in. BG a 15.3, Sal 15.9, Pat a 16.4, and Mike with a 20.1. All right, folks, 30 seconds in. All right, now it's BG out front. All right, we're 55 seconds in with 5:05 to go. Brian currently 2.1 ahead of Sal. Sal 0.9 ahead of Pat. Pat 4 ahead of Mike. We're 1 minute in with 5 minutes to go. All right, 120 down, 440 remains. BG currently on 24:10. Got Sal 23:07, Pat 22:02, Mike at 20:03. So right now, Brian would be on pace to qualify 6th in buggy. I'm in at 45 down, 4:15 to go. So yeah, Brian's time in buggy 24:09. Right now he's on 24:12, so he's got both those rides moving pretty well. Got Sal in the 2 spot, 23:07, Pat 22:11, Mike 20:01. That's on by BG 15.3. He's now 4 seconds ahead of Sal. Sal is 6.5 ahead of Pat. Pat 8.7 ahead of Mike. All right, we got 2:35 down, 3:25 to go. BG a 15.1 that time by. 15.1, he's having fun. So we're 2:50 down with 3:10 to go. Okay, folks, we are now 3:15 in. We got Brian Gross on 24:11, Sal on a 23:06, Pat 22:10, Mike 21:14. The BG holding down the fastest lap here at 15.1. We got Sal 15.4, Pat going 16.2, Mike a 17.0. 3:40 down with 2:20 left, drivers. Oh, looks like trouble for Mike. 2:15 remaining. Brian, Sal, Pat, Mike. Down to 3.
2 minutes left.
2 minutes remain. BG 6.7 ahead of Sal. Sal 14 ahead of Pat. All right, folks, minute 30 to go. 90 seconds remain. All right, race leader driving blue and yellow truck number 67. Better watch out. He might 67 you. 5 minutes down.
1 minute left.
Ah, that's Landon. 50 seconds remain. $35 seconds to go. Brian 10 ahead of Sal. Sal 18 ahead of Pat. Pat about 8 laps ahead of Mike at this point. All right, this is our final race in qualifying. After this, we're going to the main events. All right, folks.
Hollywood done. Rice Cakes Supreme
Now
done.
one more, and that'll be a
All
race.
drivers are finished.
So,
Patrick Brill
BG going 24:11. Got Sal 23:07 and Pat 22:12. All right, we'll get the main event sorted out. We'll have that figured out in just a minute. Folks, so here's how the game is played tonight. We're going to take one bump up from the D main, one bump up from the C main. We're going to take the top 2 out of the B main. So your D main event, going to be Theo, Harshal, Mike, Paul, Ben, Mike. Your C group, going to be Art, Brian, Joe, Jose, James, and John. Your B group, going to be Tony, Steve, Pat, Ryan, John, and Jeff. And your A group, Brian, Brandon, Kevin, Jordan, and Brian. All right, we'll probably need a little bit of volunteer help to marshal race 1. All right, folks, come back and check on you guys about 5 minutes.
Ten car Ted. Mike White.
All right, folks, let's start calling up race one. That's going to be Theo, Harshel, Mike, Paul, Ben, and Mike. I'm going to need some volunteer help marshaling this one, guys. Thank you. Going to need a few volunteers for this one, guys. All right, so the winner of this one goes on to the C group. We're going to take one bump from each lower man except the B main. B main, we're going to take two.
Harshil Laya. Paul Stevens. Ben Halverson.
All right, guys, I'm looking for turn marshals. I'm going to need my truck guys and some help.
Mike Rulis.
If I'm getting help out here, I'm just going to cancel all the mains. I got plenty of work to go do, so. Well, truck guys are out here. I need some volunteers, though, and I've been asking for the last couple minutes. I need a little help here. Oh, man, that was hilarious. Russ kept saying that like the whole weekend. Chris, hey, big truck guy. About the 15th time he said it, I laughed without even thinking. All right, guys. It's going to be Theo on the 1, Harshal on the 2, Mike on the 3, Paul on the 4, Ben 5, and Mike White 6. All right, so it's going to be Theo on the 1, Harshal 2, Mike Rulis 3, Paul, okay, grid's looking okay. A little bit tight, but... Yeah, I can relate to that. Tell that to Dominic Passione, man. Dude, he hit me in the shin so hard, like there's still a huge bump, that it didn't actually bruise there. It bruised in my foot. Yeah, those pipes are dangerous, dude. Like, if you glance off those pipes, it just sends your car flying. I am not a fan of round tubes. I'll say that much. Oh, hell no. We're not going round tubes here. Not happening. Over my cold, dead body. All right, folks. We're going racing. Less than 5. All right. That was a start. That was a start. So we got Harshal out front. He's driving the Gold Ride. Looks like the new J-Concept Striker body. Theo in the 2, followed by White. And then we got Stevens, Rulis, and Halverson. Oh, we got one out of the park. Oh. All right, drivers 55 down, 5:05 to go. Right now it's Harshal out front, trying to hold off Lynn. Lynn trying to hold off Stevens. Oh, a little inside-outside action here. Whoa, Paul Stevens winning that drag race. All right, folks, we're a minute 20 down, 4:40 to go. Top 4 cars still in this one. Minute 30 and 4:30 to go. This time by Harshal, 1 second ahead of Theo. Theo 0.9 ahead of Mike. Now Mike 4 ahead of Paul. Paul 1.4 ahead of Mike. And Mike, what happened to Ben? Minute 45 down, 4:15 to go. All right, this time by Harshal, just 1.1 ahead of Theo. That's our closest battle on track. Also got a battle between Mike and Paul. We are just past 2 minutes down, just under 4 minutes to go. Long race ahead, drivers. .220 down, 340 to go. Right now, Harshal 1.5 ahead of Theo. Theo 3.2 ahead of Paul. Paul 0.2 ahead of Mike. Mike 1.8 ahead of Mike. Which Mike? Yes. 235 down, 325 to go. Got Harshal going to 16.9, backing it up at 17.2. He's currently 1.4 ahead of Theo. Got Theo 3.2 ahead of Paul. Paul 1.6 ahead of Rulis. Rulis 1.8 ahead of Mike. All right, folks, we are approaching the halfway point. We are now 3 minutes down with 3 minutes to go. Looks like gap between our leaders maybe a little bit slimmer here. .250 to go. This time by Harshal crosses the line. He is 1.3 ahead of Theo. Oh, a little over jump there. He's got second and third coming towards him. 2:35 to go, drivers. Trouble there for your third place runner. He eventually works his way through. Oh, and that was Harshal. So that's going to put Theo up to the top spot. We still got 2:10 to go, drivers. Stay in it. So Theo, 1.3 ahead of Paul. Paul, 1.7 ahead of Mike. Mike, 1.1 ahead of Harshal. Harshal, 6 ahead of Mike.
Left.
We got 2 minutes to go, drivers. Paul starting to close in on the race leader. And Paul is now your race leader. And Rulis up to the 2 spot. All right, minute 40 to go, drivers. This time by Paul, 1.7 ahead of Mike. Mike is 0.5 ahead of Theo. Theo, 1.2 ahead of Harshal. Harshal, 4.3 ahead of Mike. Minute 20 to go. All right, a minute 10 remains, 70 seconds to go. Closest battle at the moment going to be the Rulis-Lynn battle. Making their way down the back straight with a minute to go.
1 minute left.
So we got Paul 2 ahead of Mike. Mike 1.1 ahead of Theo. Theo 1.9 ahead of Harshal. Trouble in the middle. 45 seconds remain. Careful on the back straight. Go wide. That's clear. Man, Sal got a big old bag of something. 20 seconds remain. All right, let's see. We got Paul 2.8 ahead of Rulis. Rulis 2.7 ahead of Lynn. Oh, Rulis now 4.8 ahead of Laya. Laya 3 seconds ahead of Lynn. All right, race to the line, drivers. Trouble for your leader. That's going to allow Mike Rulis to take this one on the final lap.
Paul Stevens done. Harshal Laya done.
Okay, so your bump up going to be Mike Rulis. Your podium going to be Paul, Harshal, and Theo. Paul, Harshal, Theo, please grab your cars, head to the podium. We're going to take your picture. All right, race number 2. Art, Brian, Joe, Jose, James, John, and Mike. All right, I may need most of my drivers from that one. Back out here to Marshall, please.
Joe Colicchio. Staples. Race Enrico. Brian Merck.
Oh, we got one more guy making his way to the podium there.
Jose X.
Okay. Got most of our guys checked in. I got no marshals out here. We need some marshals, guys. I may need a little help out here. Got Ben out here. All right, got Mike out here. All right, we're going to need some turn marshals, guys. Going to be Art on the 1, Brian on the 2, Joe 3, Jose 4, James 5, John 6, and Mike 7. If we can get Mike Rulis' car across the line real quick. Let's get him across the start-finish line. I got to check him in. Cool. Thank you. Thank you.
Mike Rulis.
Cool. Got Theo, got Harshal, got Mike, got Bet. Yep, that's it. Okay. Drivers, best of luck. We are going racing in less than 5. All right, folks, Cardinale out front, followed by Colicchio. We got Jose in the 3 spot, followed by Brian. 35 seconds down. And it's going to be Colicchio. Joe, that is, to the front. Joe driving that white and blue ride. Down the back straight he goes. Art Cardinale in the 2, followed by Jose and Brian. Then we got John, Mike, and James. All right, folks, we still got 5 minutes left. Long race ahead. Joe going 15-9 that time by Cardinale, a 15-8. Jose, a 16-1. Got Merck with a 15-9. Colicchio James going a 15-4. 120 down, 440 to go, drivers. No Joe, 1.5 ahead of Art, 1.2 ahead of Jose, 0.8 ahead of Brian, 4.7 ahead of James, 1.1 ahead of John, 3 ahead of Mike. Got $140 down. Race leader driving the white and blue ride. Second place going to be the multicolored ride of Art Cardinale. Third place going to be a battle between the orange car and the yellow-green and gray-white. All right, 2 minutes down, 4 minutes remain. $2:15 in, $3:15 to go. Careful in the middle, guys. All right, race leaders are coming up on some of the fellow competitors here. So white and blue going to be your leaders. Second place going to be the black, orange, yellow, white. Third place going to be orange. Fourth place going to be yellow, green with the white. And fifth place going to be the black car. Yeah, 240 down, 320 to go. All right, 3:15 remains. All right, Joe holding down the 1 spot. Jose up to the 2, followed by Art. Then Brian, then James. 3 down, 3 to go. Halfway to the conclusion. Race leader run the white and blue car. Second place, the orange. They're about to make their way down the back straight. 2:45 left. All right, leader all by himself, but second spot battle. Yeah, it consists of 4 cars right now. Oh, a little trouble for Jose there. That's going to allow Brian to take the 2. Hold on, I got to let one more car by. Okay. We got just about 4 down. Almost 2 minutes remaining, drivers.
2 minutes left.
Minute 50 to go. Right now it's Joe 3.2 ahead of Brian. Brian 0.9 ahead of Art. Trouble for James. Minute 40 to go, drivers. There's still time. It's starting to run out. A minute 15 remaining. Now it looks like the pack's starting to catch up to Colicchio here. Got Merck and Cardinale knocking on the door. Quite literally. Just over 1 minute remains, drivers. Trouble for Colicchio.
1 minute left.
I'll put Merck out front, followed by Cardinale. Colicchio's still in this one. 50 seconds left. Cardinale now looking to the inside. 45 seconds remain. And it's going to be Cardinale out front. Colicchio back up to the 2, Merck in the 3. And we got James in the 4 spot. 35 seconds remain. Careful up front, guys. Keep it inside. Go inside up front. All right, leaders coming up on Mike. Thank you, sir. 20 seconds to go. And I believe that's Merck going off. 10 seconds left. Cardinale out front. Colicchio right there in the 2 spot. 5 seconds left. I don't think you're going to make it by, so race to the line, drivers. It's going to be Cardinale getting the bump up to the B main event.
Staples done. Mike Rulis done. Brian Merck done.
All right, that'll be a race, guys. So it's going to be
All
Art Cardinale
drivers are
bumping it
finished.
up to the B main event.
Jose X done.
Podium for this one, guys, is going to be Joe, James, and Brian. Rest order will be Jose, Mike, and John. That'll take us into race number 3. This one's going to be Tony, Steve, Art. Tony, Steve, Pat, Ryan, John, Jeff, and Art.
Steve Loom.
And I may need my guys from the last race to come on out and marshal. We got the 2 through 4 guys taking the podium pick.
Patrick Brill. Ryan T. Randall.
All right, I may need my drivers from that last group, please.
LT Gray.
This is our B-man event. We're going to bump the top 2 in this one. Top 2 are getting bumped in this one.
Jeff Nyes. Loctite Milio.
All right, let's get all of our guys out here. Okay, Art's in this one, so it's going to be Joe, James, Brian, Jose, Mike, and John. I'm going to need all you guys to come on out and help. All right, let's see. Do I have 6 turn marshals out there? Okay. Cool. And that is going to be Art.
Let's go, Art.
All right, so it's going to be Tony Wilson on the 1, Steve 2, Pat 3, Ryan 4, John 5, Jeff 6, and Art 7. All right, folks. Grid is set. Drivers ready. Top 2 advance to the A main. We're going racing, less than 5. And they are off. Tony Wilson leads these guys off. 15 seconds in. Wilson 0.5 ahead of Leung. Leung 0.9 ahead of Randall. Randall 0.3 ahead of Emilio. All right, folks, we're 30 seconds down. Tony Wilson going 15-3. We got Steve at 15-7, Ryan at 15-6, John at 15-6. 40 down. Tony up on his lid, eating a dot. That will promote Steve and Ryan to the top 2. 50 down, 5:10 to go. Steve out front, being trailed by Ryan and Tony. All right, drivers, we are 1 minute down. Fast lap still being held down by Wilson at 15-3. That's Steve at 15-5, Ryan 15-4, John at 15-6, Art at 15, Pat 15-6. Careful on the back straight, back straight. Careful on the back straight, guys. All right, we got 4:30 to go, drivers. Still plenty of time. Steve throwing down a 15-2 that last lap. This time by Steve 3 ahead of Ryan. Ryan 1.1 ahead of John. John 1.2 ahead of Tony. Tony 4.6 ahead of Pat. Pat 1 ahead of Art. Art 1 ahead of Jeff. We're $1.50 down with 4:10 to go, drivers. Still plenty of time. All right, folks, just past 2 minutes down. Closest battle right now looks to be John and Tony. Down the back straight they go. $3:45 remaining. All right, 2:30 down, 3:30 left. So this time by Steve clocking in 1.3 ahead of Ryan. Ryan 1.9 ahead of John. Got John 0.9 ahead of Tony. So top 4 cars within 4.2 seconds. Tony just taking down fast lap out of 15-1. He's having fun. 3 down, 3 to go. We are now halfway through. Right now, Steve and Ryan holding down those top 2 spots. Ryan last time by a 15-1 of his own. Tony going 15-0. Right now, he's the man on the move. 2:45 remains. Careful in the middle, middle. 2:35 remains. This time by Steve just 0.6 ahead of Ryan. Ryan 1.6 ahead of John. John now 4 ahead of Tony. Tony 3.5 ahead of Pat. Pat 4.9 ahead of Jeff. And Jeff 2.6 ahead of Art. Got 2:15 to go. Drivers, leaders starting to come up on some traffic, making their way by. All right, folks, we're just about 4 minutes in.
2 minutes left.
This is our B main event on track. Top 2 will advance. Right now, that's Steven Ryan looking solid in those spots, but we got John just 1.3 back. So that orange and white car is your third place runner when you see him. Minute 35 to go. Steve 0.8 ahead of Ryan. Ryan 1.5 ahead of John. John 2.9 ahead of Tony. Oh, Ryan getting a little wiggly there. Minute 15 remains.
One minute left.
You heard the man. We got a minute to go. Steve 0.7 ahead of Ryan. Ryan 1.2 ahead of John. John 5 ahead of Tony. Tony 5.7 ahead of Pat. Well, now down to 2.6 actually. 40 seconds remain. Race leaders through the middle section. 35 seconds left. $20 seconds remaining. Tony's like, that's what you get for talking smack. All right, time has expired. Race to the line, drivers.
Patrick Brill done. Steve Leung done. Let's go.
And that one's going to go Steve and Ryan to the A-main. Your podium tonight going to be John, Pat, and Tony. Rest of the order, Jeff and Art.
Finished. Jeff, nice.
All right, good race, gentlemen. Up next is the A-main event. All right, so interesting fact. Last two main events, the person with the fastest lap did not bump up.
BP.
Just an interesting fact.
Rice Cakes Supreme. Goompa. Kevin Allen. Jordan Rivera.
Third on the podium should be Tony Wilson. You're telling me he's late to the podium too? All right, got one more car going to join the fray. There he is. And I may need some turn marshals, guys. Careful on the back straight. Careful on the back straight. Got one down right in the middle.
Steve Leung. Ryan T. Randall.
All right, folks. I should have some turn marshals out here. I got John, got Art, got Jeff. I imagine I have someone on the right side I can't see. Cool. All right, and Tony's over there. Okay. Gonna be Bryant on the 1, Brandon 2, Kevin 3, Jordan 4, Brian 5, Steve 6, Ryan 7. All right, folks. Grid set. Drivers ready. Going racing. Less than 5. And they are off. Bryant getting a good start here. Clean getaway. 1.4 ahead of BP. BP half a second up on Kevin. So we're 25 seconds in. Yeah, Bryant trying to distance himself from the Hornets nest here. Bryant going 14-4. Got Brandon a 14-9. Kevin a 15-0. Jordan 15-2. Oh, Bryant getting it wrong. BP into the picture. Oh, man. Oh, put him down. We got 55 down. 5:05 to go. Like I said earlier, person with the fastest lap did not win the previous 2 races. We'll see what happens here. We still got plenty of time. We got 4:55 remaining. Right now, BP out front. 14-8, doing great. So it's Brandon, Jordan, Steve, Kevin, Brian, Ryan, and Bryant. Oh, got one down the middle. And that is clear. Thank you, Jeff. Got 135 down, 4:25 remaining. Right now, Brandon Perea holding down a 4.5 second lead. And behind Kevin, it's a hornet's nest right now. Definition of hornet's nest. These guys are all very close to the same pace. Got Goompa trying to work his way through the pack. 2 down, 4 remains. All right, 2:05 down, 3:55 to go. BP now 5 seconds up on Kevin. All right, 2:20 down, 3:40 to go. This time by Brandon is 5.2 ahead of Kevin. Kevin 4.5 ahead of Bryant. Bryant half a second up on Bryant. Bryant half a second up on Jordan. Jordan 0.3 ahead of Steve. Steve 1.4 ahead of Ryan. All right, drivers, we got 3 minutes down and 3 minutes to go. So BP that time by a 14.7. He is 5.8 ahead of Kevin. We got Kevin 2.8 ahead of Brian. Brian 2.2 ahead of Brian. Brian 1 second ahead of Jordan. Jordan 1.1 ahead of Steve. Steve 1.1 ahead of Ryan. $14.7 last time by for Brandon. Brandon going 14.9 that time by. So he is now 6 seconds ahead of Kevin. Kevin 1.6 ahead of Bryant. Yeah, 2:15 to go. Drivers race leader driving the orange, gray, and white. Oh. Just over 2 minutes remain.
2 minutes left.
Brandon, Kevin, Bryant, Brian, Jordan, Steve, and Ryan. So Brandon Perea holding down a 6 second lead. Kevin less than 1 second ahead of Goompa now. Minute 35 to go. Careful back, all clear. 125 remains. Closest battle right now is going to be Kevin versus Bryant. A minute 15 to go. 75 seconds left.
One minute left.
One to go, drivers. All right, Brandon, 6 seconds ahead of Kevin. Kevin, 1.1 ahead of Bryant. Bryant, 5.8 ahead of Brian. Brian, 3.6 ahead of Jordan. Jordan, 3.4 ahead of Steve. Steve, 0.8 ahead of Ryan. Yeah, 35 seconds left. Race leader crosses line, this time by another 14.9. 20 seconds remain. Oh. Ah. All right, folks, we got 3 seconds left.
Kevin Allen done. Rice Cakes Supreme done. BP done. Jordan Rivera done. Steve Leung done. Goompa done. All drivers are finished.
All right, guys, that will be a
Ryan T.
race.
Randall
Brandon Perea taking that victory there. I believe that's 2 Wednesdays in a row for BP. Getting it done. So it's going to be Brandon, Bryant, and Kevin on the podium tonight. Rest of the order, Brian, Jordan, Steve, and Ryan. All right, up next is our final race of the night. It's going to be our truck class.
Hollywood.
All right, it's Brandemonium
Mike
on the
White.
podium tonight.
Rice Cakes Supreme. Patrick Brill.
All right, our starting grid's going to be Brian 1, Sal 2, Pat 3, and Mike 4. All right, folks, grid is set, drivers ready. We are going racing in less than 5. You know what? I'm going to call a restart on that one, guys. All right, we're going to re-rack them. And we're going racing in less than 5. All right, good clean start. Noster's curse always strikes. All right, we got 30 seconds in. 5:30 to go. right, 45 seconds in. Still got a long race ahead. So we got Brian Gross out front, about a 5-second lead. Got Pat just 2.5 ahead of Sal. Sal about 2.5 ahead of Mike. Our race leader up on his lid. He's trying to go for those 14.9s. 120 down, 440 to go. This time by Brian, 3.3 ahead of Pat. Pat 2.5 ahead of Sal. Sal 3 ahead of Mike. BG up on his lid again. Let's allow the rest of the pack to close in. All right, 2 down, 4 to go, drivers. Brian, Pat, Sal, and Mike. All right, 2:15 down, 3:45 remaining. A gap between 2 and 3 starting to get slimmer. Down to 1.5 at the line that time by. Looks like it's even closer. 3:30 left. This time by, 2 and 3 cross the line, and half a second, the difference between those two. All right, 2:45 down, 3:15 to go. We are almost halfway through. Right now, closest battle on track going to be Pat and Sal, making their way over that middle double. BG is starting to increase that gap once again. Ooh, Sal with a nice pass. But Pat getting it back. Good battle going on here for the 2 spot. Down the back straight they go. 0.3 of the gap. Got 2:35 remaining. Right now, BG about 8 seconds out. Battle watches Pat and Sal right now. Down the back straight once again. Gap 0.4. Looks like Sal getting through that rhythm section a little cleaner. 2:15 remaining. Ooh, Sal is there, knocking on the door. Tapping on the tailgate. We got 4 minutes down.
2 minutes left.
All right, excellent battle going on here. Tale of 2 trucks. Ooh, we got Pat going 15.9, but Sal taking the spot. So Sal up to the 2, driving the yellow. Quite the fellow. Minute 35 remains. So the stipulation between the race, Sal versus Pat here, loser has to shave their head. Oh, wait. 1:15 to go, drivers. 75 seconds left. Down the back straight they go. Just over a minute.
1 minute left.
So right now it's advantage Alvarez by 0.8 of a second. Burrell's still there. 50 seconds remain. All right, 35 seconds to go. BG with a pretty sizable lead here. About a little bit over 10 seconds. All right, 2 and 3 down the back straight. All right, good teamwork, guys. 10 seconds to go. All right, when you cross the
Hollywood
line,
done.
you will be done.
Patrick Brill done. Mike White done.
All right, and that will
All
be a
drivers
race.
are
BG, Sal, Pat, and
Rice
Mike,
Cake
your
Supreme
finishing
done.
order. Podium finishers and truck tonight. We'll get a bottle of shampoo. All right, folks, that'll conclude tonight's racing. Sal getting his fastest lap on the final lap there, 15.4. All right, folks, thank you all for coming out. We're going to do it again on Friday. Friday. And, of course, we're going to do it again on Sunday for Top Gun. Remember, guys, we had like 70 racers for on-road. Let's not let them outdo us. I want to see 71 racers for off-road. All right, so track build goes down Saturday night, about 5 o'clock. And if you help with the track build, you get to reserve your pit spot. All right, thank you all, and thank you for watching us on YouTube and Facebook. Goodbye, and good night.